Hello and welcome or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It is Monday, July 22nd, 2019. It's actually video 2 for me today, but technically this is not video 2. This is a video I recorded last Sunday. So anyway, I'm going to drop these readings. There's 2 different decks and we can talk about it in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you as always. Till next time. It's not on camera, so I'm just going to show pictures. So I'm going to start with the deck that usually works well with male energies. The first card is the Nine of Swords. And this card represents, it's a very dark card. It represents anxiety, fear, depressive thoughts, suicide even. Just a lot of anguish and turmoil going on within the person. So this is a state of mind and a state of being that Robert Kelly is currently experiencing. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. And this card is a representation of fulfillment and abundance and material and spiritual abundance in life. To the max. 10 is like, you know, the maximum number. And you're with that, you're supposed to be, you know, not only being generous with yourself, but with others. And also the wisdom that got you to this place. You're supposed to be, you know, just, this card represents someone who has embodied these things and also shared these things with others. But the next card that comes up is the Five of Swords. Now mind you, this is a story we're telling. Each card represents a piece of the puzzle. Five of Swords represents scattered, lack of focus, and lost. Someone scattered, who has lack of focus and who is lost. It's a card of conflict. Scattered, distracted, tending to everything and nothing at the same time. Since the wands deal with our dreams and our goals, it usually means that this conflict resides within. The energy is moving outward in many directions and they're suffering inside. It's a warning card, and it's a card to point to the fact that you need to have some calmness and focus to your mind. Otherwise, the troubles will only increase. And so the next card is the Seven of Pentacles. A period of contemplation. A curious card. That Seven of Pentacles shows a period of contemplation and uncertainty, looking back at all of your hard work, wondering, you know, what happened, where the failure came in, wondering what happened, basically, just very disappointed in yourself. And not recognizing that rewards in life are not always monetary. This person is wondering, like, why don't I have money? What happened? How did this happen to me? Being a victim and not looking at all the rewards they did have in life, and the fact that they did not use them to their benefit or to the benefit of others, which is what one of the previous cards had stated, is that, you know, you get all these gifts in life and all these rewards for your talent or whatever it is, and you have to share these things, because otherwise all greed does is lead to self-destruction. And that's what we're looking at right now, ladies and gentlemen. Following card is the Eight of Cups. This card represents stagnation and ill health. It's some urgent message for this person to pack their bags and move on. There's no hope of rekindling what's been lost. So instead of pining over what could have been and what should have been, it's over, and let it go. This is also attributing to this person's health. The card points to phases of illness and physical stagnation. It's a very clear message, and nothing good remains for that person wherever they are mentally. They need to lift their eyes to the horizon and let their feet lead them forward. So this person is in a place of like they're physically and mentally paralyzed. They're unable to move forward. They are dwelling in the past, and probably also with that blaming others for their problems and not being accountable. So this card, and then these things do affect your health at the end of the day. So that's what this card represents. The next card is the Daughter of Wands. Daughter of Wands is a female energy, and she's a visionary and she's passionate. And the Daughter of Wands is a free spirit, a true visionary. She usually waits till later to settle down and start a family because she's busy with her career. She can be stubborn and much stronger than she appears. She can make a dangerous enemy, and it represents a woman going through some type of a breakthrough or a transformation. So I think this represents that female attorney that is representing him. I think she's out of Detroit, and she has a reputation of having teeth. You know, she gets in there and gets the job done with regard to, well, she used to be a prosecutor, so that's the thing. She's now on the defense side with Kelly, but she used to be a prosecutor for, I think, a sex crime prosecutor, to be honest. So I guess the strategy here is to use her knowledge on the other side of the fence to his benefit. So that's what this card represents. The next card is the Five of Cups. Five of Cups represents grief and disappointment. The Five of Cups indicates a time of sorrow, a relationship that has fallen apart, or old friends that have slipped away. There's regret when this card appears. This person has had to look at the type of expectations that they placed on others. Were they realistic? Probably not. Not in this case. They probably also came to a point where they could never do enough to please this person, because you always had demands on them. So the fact that his ex-employees have flipped on him and turned in tapes and other evidence with regard to what they experienced working with him says a lot about loyalty and the lack of loyalty that comes down to it. They were there when they were probably getting paid and life was good, and then not so much in these last couple years, but probably still hanging on because they were waiting for their payday to come through. And now the feds are involved, and I'm sure the state also had heat on some of these people, and they broke. I mean, they're human. So they broke down, they gave up Kelly, and maybe for some type of immunity, I'm assuming. We don't know. But this card does represent that he is grieving those relationships, and he's very disappointed. The next card is the Star. So actually the Star card followed the Daughter of Wands. So the Star card does represent hope, peace of mind, trying to bring the light back into your life, trying to feel some type of glimmer of hope in the situation. This card follows the Daughter of Wands. So this card just says that female that came up, which I have said that could be his attorney, he has hope in this person, and this person is actually providing him with some light. The final card is the Moon. This card represents wild, vivid dreams and fears, and the card is basically represents the unknown and the shadow realm, where the place where dreams, fears, and mysteries are born. There's a lot of darkness that lingers there if you aren't careful, and can lead to periods of anxiety and self-doubt. This card represents losing your way and kind of like a house of mirrors. Many, great artists have roamed this inner landscape. It's where the imagination and creativity drift freely upon the midnight air. So this card basically represents his fears and anxieties. There's nothing ahead of him but the unknown. He has no idea, how this will end for him. He may still have that attitude of, I'm going to be free of this. Maybe he's now actually accepting that he may be paying for these things that he's being accused of and charged with. So next, we're going to go into the Goddess cards. Those are my go-to cards, and I wouldn't be able to pull off an actual reading without consulting with them. So let me shuffle and then we'll get to that. All right, y'all, so I pulled some cards. I got about 9 of them out of the shuffle, and I'm just gonna see what they reveal. The first card is the Prince of Pentacles, and the Prince of Pentacles is someone who brings business ideas and deals and messages and opportunities, and are able to expand as far as money and other material gains. So that clearly to me either speaks to R. Kelly or one of his, or someone even maybe bigger than R. Kelly. But let's keep going. The next card is the Star card, and it is reversed. Not following your bliss, insecurity, and feelings of unworthiness. And I think that solidifies the assumption into that it's R. Kelly, because a lot of this behavior of his probably does stem from feeling unworthy. We all know, or most of us do know, that he was himself abused as a child. And surely that attributes to this feeling. The next card is the King of Pentacles. This is someone who has the ability to create wealth, someone who personifies real estate, steadfastness, transactions. This is someone who is steadfast, has the ability to create wealth, someone who is does a lot of real estate transactions, so a business person, a successful business person. The next is the Queen of Staves. And she is someone who is intelligent and knows how to make business boom. Someone who is clever. Someone who inspires action, is someone who's cracking the whip. Following that is the Ace of Staves. The beginning of a focused, creative period, inspiration that inspires action, the masculine or the yang aspect of life, good energy. Next was the Three of Swords, and this card represents betrayal, heartbreak, someone who is devastated by someone else's betrayal. Following that is the Six of Pentacles. Someone who's generous and philanthropic and who shares their talents with the world by helping others. Someone very generous. So someone generous has moved into the fold, probably helping out financially, because we know that he is not where he used to be, which is probably why he's in so much trouble. He is broke. Next card is Movement, and this card typically means that changes are being made whether you like it or not. Movement onto the next phase of life. For most of us, it's probably a good thing that we're moving into a different phase of life and things are progressing. But in this case, this movement is movement from freedom. to another type of life. This final card is the Queen of Swords. An older woman who has these qualities. The qualities are listed are brilliant, strong, rules over all aspects of the intellectual understanding, someone who people confide and consult with. This is someone who has all these qualities, someone who has a dazzling intellect and understanding, ability to clarify through language. To me, that sounds like there's an attorney that he has on board. This seems to me to represent her. But those were all the cards that came up. So that to me just says that life was once good and now things are changing, and there's a woman who is going to be at the forefront of maybe his defense. The sword typically does represent defending oneself or defending others. So I think we may be able to look to see a woman at the forefront of the defense. I know the Illinois state trial has been authorized by the judge to be televised. I don't believe the same will happen with the federal trials. Time will tell on that though. So let's pull a couple more cards about R. Kelly, his state of being currently. I'm pretty sure he's panicked. In earlier reports, he had experienced anxiety attacks to the point of being admitted to the hospital. I'm pretty sure if you have anxiety to that level, it just doesn't go away. And he's probably used to masking it with alcohol and drugs. In jail, I believe those things are still accessible, but I don't know that he is in a position to acquire such things. Pulling some cards. What else do you want us to know about Robert Kelly? A lot of female cards coming up. Okay. So the first card is the Four of Cups. This is too much of a good thing. Someone who has overindulged and has drank enough, has had enough. It's now everything is just spilling over now. Never satisfied. Someone who's never satisfied, even though they have everything they need. They always want more. Next card is the Queen of Cups, and this card is reversed. Someone overwhelmed by emotions that need sorting, need to take control of these feelings. Okay, so emotionally overwhelmed. Following that is the Prince of Cups. A lot of cups in this spread. An invitation or offer young children who with their gentleness allow one to experience innocence anew. Okay, so he was experiencing his innocence time and time again with the young men and women, because let's not forget that there have been accusations of him consorting also with young men. So this card basically speaks to the fact that this person uses children to relive their innocence. which we know he lost at a very young age, unfortunately. The next card is balance. Experiencing or seeking deep sense of harmony and union. Integration, moderation, balance between spiritual and physical. So this is someone who needs balance or is seeking balance. Trying to sort everything out and balance the spiritual aspect of things with reality, with the actual live situation. I'm sure he's not being able to consort with his shaman or his spiritual counselor, whoever it is that he's been doing these this black magic with. I don't know what you call him. The devil, maybe. The next card is the Five of Cups. This card represents disappointment with intimate relationships, delusionment, sadness, concentrating on problems instead of assets, desires to move on. So this card represents people in his life who he's disappointed with, or vice versa. He's very, I would say that pissed off is probably more of the definition, but sad and disillusioned with the people who have turned on him. This is what I'm getting from this particular card. Is representing disappointment in people and just not, and focusing on all of the bad things and nothing, not in a positive place. We'll just say that. Next card is the Five of Swords. And this card represents an uncomfortable truce, a possible defeat, or feelings of defeat. Discomfort and struggle with the situation, need for self-protection. Okay, and we all know that that is definitely the position he's in this moment. The next card that comes up is Sacrifice. This card represents a surrender to higher principles, higher goals, sacrifice in order to gain wisdom and empathy. So by sacrifice in this case, what I'm getting is that he's just letting go, kind of that let go and let God thing, and not fighting anymore. Either that or he needs to do that. Maybe he hasn't gotten there yet, but we know all of this time he's been adamant about his innocence, and he states that these women, these girls are lying on him. Everyone involved is lying. So now he's at a point where everything has just toppled up on top of him. All of the lies, all of the deceit, all of the criminal transgressions, everything is just tumbled onto him, and he is buried alive. Next card is the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles does represent wealth, prosperity. Is a woman draped in richly embroidered robes, laden with jewels, like a goddess, surrounded by Four of Pentacles. And she is the epitome of luxury. So this is someone who has come into his life, or who will step up in his life, what it sounds like. Family inheritance. This could be talent, money, or land. So, okay, this card is representing a female or a female energy who is wealthy, prosperous, stable, and this person has gotten this from a family inheritance, whether it's talent or money or land. So someone who is wealthy, and something that came down to her allowed her to benefit materially. So I'm thinking this could be a celebrity, someone who is also a star or well known in entertainment, or someone who just inherited money and land and are rich. Nevertheless, this card represents a female or female energy who is coming in to assist. And the last card is the Queen of Pentacles. Represents fertility, possibly parenthood, creating prosperity and harmony, beauty, wealth, and home regality. So again, someone who is creating prosperity and harmony, someone who is possibly going to have a child or children, or someone who has children, beauty and wealth, beautiful home. And that's what this card represents. And this is on top of the previous card of the female who is wealthy, who is coming in. So very interesting and confusing at the same time. Let me see if any other cards come up to give us any more insight on that. All I can say about that is just what the card says, is that either one or two women, one of them is rich and coming in to assist. The other is someone who embodies keeping a home and taking care of children, and, you know, someone who maybe he has hidden away. I have seen other readers say that he has women stashed away in homes and out of, you know, in different states. So the Princess of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, Princess of Staves, and the Nine of Cups. Anything else? No. Okay. So we're starting with the Princess of Swords. This card represents incisive movement, cutting through confusion, focus. And this is a female, so it could represent the attorney that came up previously. The attorney that's going to be the face of his defense. And it is a strategic move on the defense's end to use a female, being that all of the crimes are against women, victimizing women. The next card is the Three of Pentacles. This card represents constructive and pragmatic building, career, relationships, home, ability to transform talents into material goods for business success. Okay. So that could be the woman who is coming in with the money. But this is saying to transform your talent into goods. So I think this is representing R. Kelly. Then we have the Princess of Staves. The ability to create beauty that is useful. Integrity, creativity, initiative, new ideas or ventures to be acted upon immediately. A young woman who inspires others to live this mission. Okay, so this is a woman, a young woman who is someone, actually a good person, it sounds like, and they are going to be maybe a spokesperson in a sense, who inspires other women to be like her, really. Could be one of the girls. The next card is the Nine of Cups. And this was the last card, and I'm going to leave it here, whatever it is. This card represents satisfaction, contentment, even considered a wish card, meaning a wish will be granted if it appears in a spread. So I get from this that there's one or more of the girls, I think, have been praying for some type of outcome in her favor, and it's going to happen for her or them. So I think out of all of this, there's so much more to come, not only with the criminal aspect, the courts and the sentencing eventually, which will happen, but also on the side of the women who have endured, lived through, who knows what, God only knows, they only know, obviously, and they are going to use those experiences to enrich themselves and others to come up, basically. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I had done a reading previously where Azriel specifically, who is a very talented singer, is going to, after everything is said and done, she's afraid, but is going to probably pursue her talents, her dreams. So with all that said, the reading is done, and I'm going to leave this here. Thank you, as always, for checking me out. Please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and comment. I'm always here for that. And until next time, peace.